Hey guys, my name is Ben, and today I wanted to talk to you briefly about these. These are what I have found to be the best way to organize your sockets and your ratchets and your extensions. Now, this is my set for home. The way these rails work are superior to everything that I have used before. I will show you guys a couple examples of what I've done in the past. I've used magnets, I've used essentially something like this, but without this awesome locking mechanism. So what's super cool about these is that they're modular, they're locking, and so none of your stuff goes anywhere, and then you can easily just do a little 1/8 turn twist and get your sockets right off, put them down, twist, lock them back in. So I'll show you guys some more on this, some B-roll, and then I'll also show you guys how I implement this at work. This is just for at home. I'll get more into this in just a second, but stay tuned. These are awesome. Okay guys, so we are currently in my garage and I wanted to show you guys how I used to organize my sockets. Right now all my tools are at work, but I'll show you how this was set up before I got my new stuff. Alright guys, so for demonstration purposes, obviously the toolbox is currently empty, but this is how I used to organize my sockets. I had these cheapo Harbor Freight magnetic rails. You could pick these up for like $2 when they're on sale, and I would put my sockets right there like that. When I wanted to grab them, I would grab them like that. But the sucky thing about these is that for these to work really well, you actually need to mount them into your toolbox or mount them up on that side of the toolbox, because when you just have these were not ideal. Something I did like a bit more than those though were this little Blue Point magnetic. I believe this was just for holding like nuts and bolts and whatnots, but I actually use this quite a bit for holding like smaller sockets. So like all my 1/4" stuff used to be organized in this little guy, but obviously when you work on cars, you have a few more sockets than just the however many so this can hold. It holds it decently, but like as soon as you're like driving around or moving this stuff around, all of that's gonna go absolutely flying. So my second solution was these guys. These guys suck. I would highly not recommend getting something like this. These are just cheap little metal rails, and then you've got these slidey guys that you can move around and then mount your sockets on here. But what sucks about these is that, again, they are intended to be mounted into your toolbox by drilling holes, same like with the magnetic rails. But these guys suck for many reasons. One is you don't have easy one-handed operation. You can't be grabbing a ratchet with one hand and grabbing a socket with another hand unless they're mounted into your toolbox by drilling holes. And then one more item to show off. Yes, there's a lot of ways to organize sockets, and I don't use any of them anymore because of the new socket rails, but this is a Blue Point tray, and this goes from 1/2 to 3/8 to 1/4, and this thing is kind of almost honestly worse than just having a standalone rail, because you have these ginormous handles, and this is not modular at all. These rails, everything's just fixed where it is. You have a set amount of everything, and it's just this giant fat tray. Okay, so you guys have heard me praise these things more than enough now. I think I'm gonna pop over to work and actually show you guys these in a real world situation, not just a little tray in my room. I'll show you guys some more features of this when we get to work. Let's go. Alright guys, so we've made it to work, and I wanted to give you a quick tour of my toolbox at work. This is my work provided snap-on toolbox, and like I was talking about, these socket rails, these are the bee's knees right here. So the way I have it set up is I have the least used kind of in the back, so that's 1/2" imperial all the way back up there. Most used kind of in the middle right here with the magnetics and the semi-shallows and the wobblies and the deeps, and this is all 3/8, and then 1/2" still back here, and then up front is some more specialty stuff like E-Torques and then crow's foots and 1/4" stuff. But the way all of this works is that you can just grab a whole tray and take it. So if you're doing a side job or if you need to bring stuff home, you're able to just grab the tray that you think you need. So if I needed to go do something at home, I'd most likely probably need like this tray and this tray. And that would get me like most of my 3/8 sockets, and then over here on the side, I just have all my extensions on these two magnetic rails right here. But like I was saying, these socket rails are so convenient because you can see exactly when stuff is missing, and it's super easy to just twist off, put down, twist back in. So normally while I'm working here in my bay, I'll just leave this drawer more or less open or cracked, and then when I'm done with a socket, like I'm done with the 7, I just put it right back and lock it in, so I know where everything is. You don't end up losing sockets. And then I also have a pull-out cart in there that will sometimes come out, and I'll leave like super active stuff in there, but for the most part, just being able to grab stuff, pull it in, take it off is super easy. Right here we have ratchets, and then, by the way, these sockets are kind of a mix of everything. The magnetic sockets are all Matco. Most of the chrome stuff is Hobo Freight. We also have some Craftsman. All these E-Torques are Amazon. Back here is Cobalt for the 1/2-inch stuff. And then the crow's feet are also Harbor Freight. This is a Blue Point socket filter for Toyotas because that's what I work on. But again, just the convenience of being able to pick up a tray and walk off and know that nothing's going to fall out of this tray. You can move it around. And then also, I talked about it a little bit earlier, but the ability to just be able to unlock one of these slides is super convenient because you can take off a slide, and then if you want to reorganize your box, you can then take off another slide here and then just move them to a different section of your box. Obviously, I like to have the tall stuff in the back and then the shallower stuff in the front, but being able to just reorganize your box like that is super convenient. And then you can also just take one little tray with you wherever you're going and not have to worry about sockets falling off or losing sockets or stuff going missing randomly. This is the color I chose, by the way, if you couldn't already tell. This is the high vis color. I think this is actually on more of a sale than the other colors I have right now, which is why I went for it. As of the filming of this video, these socket sets are on sale, so you can get the 1/4, the 3/8, and the 1/2 all in one. Oh, and like I was talking about, the ability to be able to mix and match the sizes is super convenient because this E-Torque set goes from a 1/2-inch drive to a 3/8 drive down to a 1/4 drive, and you can have them all on the same rail just like this, and it looks super trick just being able to have all of the sockets all lined up, even with all the different drives. And then like over here, obviously all these adapters are different drives underneath, and then the crow's foots kind of hang off a little bit, so I've put them in the front. But yeah, I again just think this is one of the best ways to organize your tools. Okay, now I'd love to give you guys an example of how not to organize your sockets. This is my boy's drawer, and he's got his specialty sockets, well, here, laying in the drawer, and then for the rest of his sockets, he has them up in his top drawer. And the way that he has all of these organized is kind of miscellaneous. These are the trays that they came in. He had them cut up. Some sockets are laying flat, some are standing up, some are going this way. He actually recently just purchased these socket rails that I just showed you guys to organize all of this stuff so you can see when stuff is missing. And like even then you have like empty slots, but it's hard to tell where everything is because especially when you mix up stuff and you accidentally throw it into the miscellaneous socket drawer, stuff just disappears and walks off, which is a problem he's had in the past, which is why he switched over to a system more like this. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this little tech demo where I talk about this product. I absolutely love it, and I think it's probably the best way to organize your sockets. I've tried a bunch of different ways, which I've already showed you guys, but this right now is my solution. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Again, I'm sure I've already said it a couple times, but the links to these socket rails will be down in the description. That's about it. Thank you for watching. Peace.